All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about a rule, a simple rule, that could totally change how you work. And look, it's not about grinding harder, it's about something else entirely finding that hidden leverage. The stuff that gives you massive results for just a tiny bit of effort. So, let's kick things off with a feeling. I'm pretty sure we've all been there. You know those days, right? You're just go, go, go from the second you wake up, bouncing from one thing to the next. But then, at the end of it all, you kind of stop and think, did I actually get anything important done? That nagging feeling that you didn't really move the needle on your big goals. Yeah, that one. Well, that feeling, it's got a name. It's called the busy work trap. And it's basically an illusion of progress. We fool ourselves into thinking that because we're being frantic, we're being productive. It's so easy to just fill up our entire day with tasks that keep us busy, but they don't get us any closer to where we really want to be. So, how do you get out of that trap? Well, there's this really powerful mental model called the 80-20 rule. Sometimes you'll hear it called the Pareto principle, same thing. But the idea behind it is super simple. Not all the work you do is created equal. Not by a long shot. And honestly, once you really get this principle, it's a complete game changer. I mean, it forces you to totally rethink how you spend your time and your energy. Okay, so what the rule shows us is this kind of crazy imbalance in, well, almost everything. It says that a tiny piece of what you do, we're talking like 20% of your actions, is actually responsible for the huge majority of your results, like 80% of them. And the flip side is just as wild. That means the other 80% of your effort, all that stuff you're doing, is only creating a measly 20% of your outcomes. So the takeaway here is crystal clear, right? Success isn't about cramming more stuff into your day. It's about doing more of the right stuff. The whole secret, the entire trick, is to figure out what that powerful 20% is, and then just pour all your focus right there. All right, let's make this a little more real. Let's use an example. Imagine you've got this massive goal, okay? You want to be in the absolute top 1% of whatever it is you do in 5 years. That's a great goal. But how you go after it, that's what makes all the difference. So, let's look at two people. Same goal, but totally different ways of getting there. The person on the left, they're stuck in that busy work trap. They're spending like 80% of their day just chasing shiny new things, new tools, new software, you name it. And yeah, it feels like they're being productive, but they're only spending a tiny 20% of their time on the stuff that actually grows their skills. And the result? They're just spinning their wheels. Now the person on the right, they get the 80-20 rule. They pour 80% of their time into that high-impact work, the core skills that really move their career forward, and they save just that little 20% for checking out new stuff. And the result for them? Real, direct, measurable progress. I mean, look at that. The difference in where they end up is just staggering. It proves right there that being busy has almost nothing to do with being effective. It's all about where you point your energy. One way leads to going nowhere, and the other leads to huge success. Same goal, totally different worlds. Okay, that's all great in theory, but how do you actually do this, like in your real life? Well, the good news is it's not complicated. It actually breaks down into a really simple 3-step plan that you can literally start using today. So here's your daily blueprint. Step 1, identify. You got to figure out your vital few. Sit down and write out the top 3 things that actually get you results. Maybe that's writing code, maybe it's making sales calls, maybe it's creating content. Whatever it is, get super clear on it. Step 2, focused. Now you got to guard your time. Block out a big chunk, I'm talking 4 to 6 hours every single day to work only on those 3 things. That time is sacred, it's non-negotiable. And finally, step 3, explore. Whatever time is left over, maybe an hour or 2, that's when you do everything else. The admin stuff, checking out those new tools, the general learning. See what you're doing? You're pushing all that low-impact 80% stuff to the very end of your day. And it really all comes down to this magic number. 3. That's it. Not 20 things, not 10, just 3. Your whole goal is to find the 3 things that matter the most. And think about it. Finding them isn't about making a to-do list. It's about making a not-to-do list. It's about elimination. Saying no to everything else is how you get the focus you need to actually win. That kind of clarity, man, that's your new superpower. All right, so we've gone through the principle, we've seen the example, we've got the plan. There's really only one question left. What's your 20%? Because now it's your turn to actually do something with this. Look, at the end of the day, everything we've talked about really boils down to this one single idea. This right here, it's the line in the sand between being busy and being effective. You have to be almost ruthless about focusing on just the few things that give you most of your results. So I'm going to leave you with a final challenge. I want you to take a hard, honest look at how you're spending your time. Can you, right now, name those critical few tasks, your 20%, that are going to define your success? And hey, if you do know what they are, what's stopping you from making them the very first thing you do tomorrow?